Minion items are a very important part of the minion. They can do a bunch of things from turning items into their channel form to make you insane amounts of profit or increase minion efficiency. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the best minion items and what you should use at what times, especially now since Derpy is married, but this applies to all the times, including. If you guys enjoyed today's video, subscribe to Dreaming the World with me. Let's get into it. So what are minion items? Minion items are any item that you can put inside the minion. There's a few different things you can do. You can add a fuel source. You can add a automated shipping, so a budget hopper, enchanted hopper, or perfect hopper. Or you can have two like normal upgrade slots, which have the majority of things. I'm going to be going over all of these items and what I recommend you do. So let's start off with the easiest one, automated shipping. I don't really ever recommend an automated shipping. It's not worth it. Odds are your minions aren't going to get full. So unless you plan on leaving for like around 6 months and then coming back, I wouldn't bother putting one in. You're not going to make your money back at all. Now that's settled, there's a few items we can use for the upgrade slots, and I'm going to be going over a good amount of these. First one, super compactors. This is the easiest one by far. It turns things into enchanted. You should have this in every single minion. What other items can you add? An example of some of these items include the diamond spreading, Minion Expander, pretend this is a flycatcher, Krampus helmet, and lesser soul flow engine. First off, Minion Expander and flycatcher, pretend it's there. Both of these, which one is better? Minion Expander is extraordinarily cheap and increases the speed of your minion by 5% and gives it one extra block of space. So if you're using mines at a 5x5 and now mines at a 6x6, which is 100% useless, but increasing it by 5% is kind of nice. Then we have Flycatcher. A Flycatcher is a drop from Stranger Broodfathers, and it gives you plus 20% resource generation, so 15% faster than the Minion Expander. However, in most scenarios, this is not worth it because it just doesn't give that big of a buff to make it be worth it. Which is why I really don't recommend doing it. Stick with Minion Expanders if you want extra speed. Now, between Diamond Spreading, Krampus Helm, and Lesser Soul Flow Engine, which one of these make the most? First off, cost, Diamond Spreading, it's like 8k. Lesser Soul Flow Engine, it's around 2 to 4 million coins. Krampus Helm, it's around 3 to 4 million coins on average. Now, you can only have one Krampus Helm on your island at one time. The rest have to be Lesser Soul Flow Engines or Diamond Spreading if you want to do that. So out of the three, between Diamond Spreading, Krampus Helm, and Soul Flow Engine, which one is the best? Now, personally, in my opinion, I'd recommend having one Krampus Helm guy on your island at any given time. He's pretty solid, he makes a good amount of money. Make sure you put him in a snowman, otherwise he won't really work. In between Lesser Soul Flow Engines and the Diamond Spreading, that's honestly your choice, but I'm going to ask you this question. How long are you planning on playing Skyblock for? If you're planning on playing Skyblock for... If you think you're going to be playing Skyblock the next 2 to 3 months, even if you think you're going to be playing Skyblock the next month, it is better for you to get the Soul Flow Engine than for you to get Diamond Spreading, so it'll pay itself off in around a month or two, and then you can always just sell it if needed, and you'll be starting to make a bunch more profit. If you plan on playing this game for long term, I do recommend getting Soul Flow Engines. It's free money, it can give you a lot of free money per day. If you're not sure, just get Diamond Spreading, it's easier that way. Now for fuel. Fuel is going to be a big topic as there's a lot of them. I'm going to go with enchanted lava buckets, comparing enchanted lava buckets, catalysts, all this good stuff, right? Enchanted lava buckets, it's solid. I suppose just spoke English. 25% speed, it's pretty cheap. Super solid one, it lasts indefinitely, which is its biggest thing. Hamster wheels. Hamster wheels will increase the speed of your minions by 50% for 24 hours. This is pretty good, however, it is also pretty expensive. Because if you wanted to buy like a stack and have it last for a while, it's going to cost you 1.4 million coins. Next, we have catalysts and hyper catalysts. These ones are going to cost you a lot, and it increases the number of resources generated by this minion for 3 times. These ones are super good. However, I don't know if they're worth the cost. Generally speaking, I wouldn't recommend using them unless you're gunning for like EXP, because these won't make money. These are really good if you want to get like a bunch of mining XP or fishing XP. They're not really good for making money. Foul Flesh. Increases speed by 90% for 5 hours, and it costs you 25,000 coins. This one I recommend if it's any sort of AFK machine, so if it's AFK Rabbit, AFK Slime, AFK Magma. If it's an AFK minion, I recommend having a Tarantula one, because you're killing the mobs anyways, doesn't matter about drops, and you'll end up making the most profit possible if you use Foul Flesh. Other than that, though, I don't really recommend using Foul Flesh in the majority of circumstances. And last but not least, we have Cheese. Cheese increases the number of resources created by this minion for 2 times for 1 hour. So if I wanted to get like 24 hours of fuel, it would cost me 200,000 coins, and it would double it. This is kind of like hyper catalysts, but worst. So I could spend 26,000 coins and get a 2x multiplier, or I could spend 120,000 coins to get a 3x multiplier for the exact same period of time. So Tasty Cheese is actually super good. However, you have to remember to actually refill it because it's only going to last 3 days. So if you refill your minions every 3 days, it's actually one of the best fuels in the game. However, the issue is you have to be able to refuel it every 3 days, and if you forget, you're kind of screwed because the fuel only lasts 1 hour. So just a quick recap. If we're talking for upgrades, I recommend you have a super compactor on you at all times, no matter what you're doing. If you're going for AFK, you can pair this up with a Minion Expander or Flycatcher if you so wish. For general cases, I recommend having one Krampus helmet in each of the minions, preferably Snow Minion, because it generates a Krampus helmet every X amount of resources generated, and Snow Minions generate the most resources. Having that is a good idea. Soulflow Engine is super good. Same with Diamond Spreading. You can choose between the two if you wish to. For actual upgrades like fuel-wise, Channel Alpha Buckets is probably one of the most consistent. Using the catalysts or whatever, they don't make any money. I recommend you only use this if you're gunning for EXP and don't care about money. So if you're a multi-billionaire and want to get fishing 50 but you don't want to fish, that's the perfect scenario for you to use catalysts. And Tasty Cheese is actually super good because it gives a very similar effect to the catalyst, except a lot cheaper and slightly worse. So best fuels, in my opinion, is Channel Alpha Buckets and Tasty Cheese, with the occasional scenario for Foul Flesh and the occasional scenario for Hyper Catalysts. If you guys enjoyed today's video, subscribe, which would mean the world to me. See you in the next one. Peace.